Mom, and thanks for being here. I'm so glad to be connecting with you. Thank you for doing your revolutionary work. It matters. It's so important. I am here to talk about energetic metabolism, what it is, why it matters, and how to do it. So in order to talk about what it is, I'm going to talk about the zombie apocalypse. Like you're even surprised anymore. Yeah, I'm going to talk about the zombie apocalypse. Yes, I am. The thing about this zombie apocalypse is it's about consciousness. It is real and it exists in like a subtle terrain. When we are conscious, we have our awareness that's centered within ourselves and it's anchored into truth. You know who you are. You know that you are continuous with the source of all things. You know that we're continuous with each other. You know that we're all in this together. You're conscious, you're aware. And then what happens is there's these little like temptations to identify with the ego. These little zombies creeping up at the walls, you know? And sometimes they get you. Sometimes they get you. And then you start just like looping these thoughts, these same old thoughts, like, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Or maybe I don't have enough money. Maybe I'm a fool. We've all got our pet avenues for these zombie bites. I call them tasty snacks because we wouldn't go for them if some part of us didn't think that they were kind of tasty. So there is an appeal there because nothing in creation happens without our will being in participation with it. So this zombie attack, it feels like it comes from the outside and the zombies are attacking us. And then, you know, we get dysregulated, we get confused, we feel distracted, we feel listless. Sometimes we straight up feel scared or overwhelmed, or we don't know what to do, or we feel dumb, or we just keep on like banging our head against the wall, just trying to like do something that seems like what we should be doing, and it shouldn't be this hard. Do you know what I'm talking about? I bet you do. A lot of people are feeling this lately because there's a lot of zombie energy lately, which is cool. It's cool because we can handle this. We can handle this. And not by resisting it, not by telling those energies to shut up, certainly not by telling the people that maybe start to get us the idea about those energies to shut up. Certainly not. We're all in this together. And whatever we resist persists. Whatever we try to push away, it's like it's equal and opposite force. We push it away, it comes back just as hard. So that's a way of keeping it strong, by pushing against it. We also don't want to just kind of let it happen or pretend that it's not happening. I call that like self-gaslighting. You're just pretending that it's not happening, but it's definitely happening. It is definitely your experience. Definitely your experience. I'm validating that it is your experience. And it's not just your experience. These days, that kind of an experience is happening for a lot of people. So what do we do? Like, why is this happening? And what do we do? Zombie bites are happening to help us see what it is that's still a tasty snack for us. It helps us see what we still believe that pulls us into zombie land where we aren't operating in our conscious awareness. When we're pulled out of our conscious awareness, then we can't really operate with our full power, and you're feeling it, right? It feels really debilitating, and that's okay. Like, you're not doing anything wrong. It doesn't mean that you've like dropped out of the revolution or anything like that. This is part of the process. These things need to come up to be looked at. So don't despair if you have found yourself bitten by a zombie, if you have found yourself in unconscious zombie land. It's okay. Like, it is all okay. And we've got your back. We've totally got your back on this. We're all in this together. Like, reach out in energy. We're right here. We're right here. So That's what's going on. That's why there are these zombie bites, because we all need to be provoked to notice what those beliefs are that are holding us into any kind of a energetic terrain that has some falseness. So like better than, less than, separateness at all, disempowerment, fear, scarcity, anything like that. So it's good for those things to kind of come up to be noticed. And in the Fruits of Summer episode, I talked about the collective fruits that are coming up to be noticed. And this is kind of a continuation of that episode, because what I'm talking about now is metabolism. So when all of these like zombie attacks, these zombie bites, when we get inoculated with the zombie virus and we fall into unconsciousness, how do we metabolize that energy? How do we alchemize it? So that's what it is. Why it's important is for your own health and well-being and for the revolution of all of us on the whole. It's also important to metabolize it and not to resist it or fight it for the reason that I said, where the equal and opposite reaction, you resist it, you're actually investing in it. So get hip to that, because you don't want to be unwittingly on the zombie team. Like, we are all in this together. Like, no matter what anybody else's beliefs are, we're all in this together. So when I'm talking about like the zombie terrain, that's just like, that is the energy that, like, as the radio tuners that we are, we can tune into that energy and we can play that station as our being. We can express that energy and attract that energy. We can play that radio station. And that's what I mean by like when you fall into zombie land. So this is certainly not vilifying any of our dear kin. We're all in this together. So what do we do? What do we do? What does it mean to metabolize? Well, to metabolize something, you have to digest something. And to digest something, you have to eat it. And in order to eat it, you have to accept it. But it's really, really hard to accept something from the place of zombie land. If we've already fallen into zombie land, if we've fallen into unconsciousness, if we've already glommed onto that tasty snack, then we are in agreement with the energy. What is it for you? Is it scarcity? That you feel like you have to keep working or you're not worthy of love? Like, what is it for you? Think about it. Think about it and also watch it. Just like watch your life. Like, when do you fall into those moments of despair or hopelessness or overwhelm or confusion? Like, what's happening? Your life is helping you notice. So pay attention. It's for you. It's a gift. So what is your tasty snack? Get hip to that so that you can put a little bit of distance between yourself, who is eternal, who is true, that's continuous with each other, that's continuous with everything. You know that truth. Put a little distance between that and the sense of self that's afraid, that's overwhelmed, that doesn't know what to do, that feels helpless. Because that sense of self isn't the same thing as yourself. That is you as a magnificent being aligning with something that's not true. So if you can keep a little cushion of space when you fall into those zombie attacks, when you fall into unconsciousness, then you give yourself a chance. Because you are the who that can accept what's happening. If you are unsafe, unfocused, ungrounded, lost and adrift, confused and overwhelmed, scattered in a million directions, if that's who you are, there's not a lot of traction there. And a lot of the things that I'm going to be talking about will function like self-gaslighting, will function like falling into victimhood, or just kind of like allowing things that might not be good for you. So first step, realize that this is happening. The revolution is happening. The zombie apocalypse is happening. You are like a radio tuner. You can tune into different frequencies, and as a frequency being, everything is energy and vibration. That becomes who you are in that moment, because that's what you're expressing. And also the truth of who you are is eternal. And no matter where you're putting your attention, the truth of who you are really can't be moved by that. You are the radio tuner. You're not the same thing as the frequency that you're playing. So that's a lot to keep in mind. But I know that a lot of us now are increasingly more and more like on board with that. Like, that's what's up. That's what's up. So that's a great place to start. So now folks like us are finding these intermittent waves of challenge. We're getting these zombie bites. How do we handle it? So once we're like awake to the reality of the revolution, we're starting to get hip to these like zombie bites. Get a little space there. That's not you. That is your experience. You can go into it and have that experience, but be mindful of investing in it. And be mindful that when you resist, you're also investing in it. So keep a little bit of space there. That way you can kind of be you and notice it. And you can still have your experience. You can still feel miserable. I do. When this happens for me, like, it doesn't feel good. That's okay. Like, that's part of how it gets our attention. But I know that I'm continuous with truth. I know that I am continuous with all of the power in the universe. I know that the light that I am is the same light that powers the sun. Like, that's me, and that's you too. So just get a little suspicious of these moments where it's like, I feel helpless, I feel worthless. Get suspicious, have a little bit of distance there. And then from that place of distance, you're not falling into this vortex spiral that doesn't go anywhere. Friends, it doesn't go anywhere. You've thought these thoughts before, right? There's no water at the bottom of that well. The ego plays both sides also. If you start to have some awareness that like a particular story isn't true, it'll start telling you a totally different story to get your attention in a different way. It's very clever. It's very clever. That's not you. Those are some frequencies that are trying to grab at you. That's cool. It's good to notice. It can't have a hold on you unless you've got a place to hold. And that's okay that you've got a place to hold. We all do. That's part of our work here. That's what we're working on. So notice it. That's great. And have a little bit of distance there. And then stop paying attention to it. This is big. Stop paying attention to it. And that's like saying, don't think about a white elephant. I know. But what you can do is something different. What you can do is put your mind on what you know is true. There's going to be something for you that's a little bit more reachable than other aspects of truth. So like for some people, it's like they really, really love their dog. And when they feel into that love, then their heart starts to open. For some people, they just know that we're all in this together. That's one that I come back to a lot. And that is an avenue, just like the tasty snack is an avenue into zombie land, and it's a highway to hellscape. you've probably got one or two little nuggets of truth that make sense to you, like that you believe. This whole revolution, this whole zombie apocalypse, it's all about your attention, it's all about your beliefs, and it's all about your awareness. So all of the science fiction books and everything like that, it's like, wow, who knew that it was going to be this subtle? And by subtle, I don't mean small, and I don't mean low stakes either. This is high stakes. But by subtle, I mean it is in subtle energy. And most people can't even see this kind of energy. There's light waves that are beyond most people's perception. There's sounds that dogs can hear, but I can't hear. There is energy, there's frequencies that are so subtle that it's difficult to be perceived. But you're working on it. You're increasing your capacity to be aware of this. Lean into that and use that, because that's what's important in life right now. That is what's important in life right now. And you're feeling this, like you're feeling these squeezes, you're feeling these zombie bites. Ugh. It can be really draining. So you are feeling subtle energy. You already are. So let's use that. Let's get smart about it, okay? Stop being zombie food. Let's take back our sovereignty. Let's use our power. We've got our power. So find one avenue to truth that works for you, that feels like you can really trust that truth, and then focus on it. This is like fighting the zombie. Instead of going into that distraction of that untruth, like pick up your sword and focus on what you know is true. Whatever it is that resonates most with you. Like, I can trust my dharmic path. I can trust everybody's karmic path. I can trust that we're all in this together. I know that I am infinitely loved. I know that I am an infinite being. Whatever it is that you can land on. I know that I love my dog. I really love my dog. And feel that. Focus on it and then feel it. Feel it in your heart. When you feel it in your heart, you start to embody that focus. And your heart is the center point, the generator of the electromagnetic field that you radiate. So tuning your heart to what you know is true, focus that attention, and then feel it in your heart. Let your heart believe that it's true. And let that feeling get big. Let that feeling wash over you. And the zombies are going to keep on knocking. They're going to be like, well, don't you think you should be nervous about this thing? And you just pick up your sword again and you focus on what you know is true. And breathe into it and expand your heart. You're fighting zombies now. How cool is that? So let that truth fill you and just become a full, flowing, fiery vortex of it. Your focus is fierce. Your attention is unwavering. Every time the zombies come knocking, you go right back to it. And you just fill yourself with that fire. You are the fire that lights the sun. You've got so much glory to burn. You are absolutely radiant. Fill yourself with that power. Let it just flow. Let it just radiate. And those zombies are going to be very tempting. They're going to play at any which side. They're going to say things like, "Oh, that's egotistical. Like, that's self-aggrandizing." Or like, "You can't even do your work. You just have to sit there and think about how awesome you are." You know, like the zombies are going to say all kinds of things. And I'm here to tell you that not one of those things are true. Not one of those things are true. And then when you can focus on that truth and you can radiate that energy through you, then you're ready to start metabolizing. This is your ninja warrior training. You're learning over and over again to pick up your sword and focus into truth. You're learning over and over again to increase the volume of your energy, to fill the energetic space with the powerful fire that you are. And in that fire, you can digest, you can metabolize what comes your way with all the ease and the radiance of the sun lighting the earth, with all the ease and the radiance of a candle burning up some paper. It doesn't matter what it is, because in the fire of truth, everything is included. Everything is included. And as you can include more and more into your radiance, you're working through metabolizing, through functional forgiveness. You're bringing it into your radiance and you can metabolize it. You can integrate what you need to integrate, and you can release what you need to release. So that's how to be a ninja in this zombie apocalypse. That's how to metabolize the energies that are coming your way. And you can do it. I know you can do it. I know that you are here for this. And it's truly an honor to know you. It's truly an honor to speak with you and to connect with you here. So get on out there. Get on out there and glow. Get on out there and radiate. Zombies truly don't have a chance against you.